Have you paused to ask why your first million remains out of reach? Reflect clearly on your current state. Are you truly satisfied with the pace of your progress? Too many allow the sands of time to slip through their fingers, watching their dreams remain dreams, never crossing into reality. Do not become one who, years from now, looks back in regret, wondering what could have been. Andrew Carnegie once told me plainly, "Success is never accidental. It is the direct result of deliberate thought and decisive action." He did not amass wealth through chance or vague intention. Carnegie's success came through purposeful action, executed with precision, clarity, and unwavering confidence. Wealth is not a matter of luck. It is the certain result of a deliberate mind and persistent hands. Thomas Edison echoed this truth with every invention he pursued. He never waited for permission, perfect conditions, or external approval. Edison moved decisively from concept to action, acting as though success was already achieved. This decisive action is the signature trait of all men who rise from humble beginnings to wealth and greatness. Each moment you hesitate, you lose the power of now, the present moment where your fortune lies waiting. Every second lost to doubt or indecision sets you further back from the fulfillment of your goals. Understand clearly, time waits for no one. Your first million will not chase you. You must chase it with unwavering determination and absolute clarity of purpose. Imagine vividly the freedom your first million brings. Feel deeply the confidence that comes from knowing your finances are secured. Picture clearly the life you will lead when the burden of financial uncertainty is lifted forever. Allow yourself to see, hear, and feel this state now as if it is already yours. Such imagination ignites a fire of motivation within your soul. You have within you the same potential, the same inner power as Edison, Carnegie, and Ford. The difference between them and the majority is simple. They acted with a clear, definite purpose, and they acted without hesitation. They carried themselves as though success was not only possible, but certain. You must do likewise, behaving today as though you have already accumulated your first million. The mind responds to certainty. It obeys the thoughts you hold vividly and with repetition. If you think like a millionaire, act like a millionaire, speak like a millionaire, you will inevitably become a millionaire. Your life right now must reflect the abundance you seek. Your behavior today must be the clear expression of your fulfilled desire. Success demands your immediate action. Hesitation is the enemy. Each delay weakens resolve. Each excuse drains power. Act now with certainty and persistence. Move now with confidence and clarity. When you do, wealth becomes attracted to you as surely as iron is drawn to a magnet. The rich have no special magic. They have clarity and determination. They move through life as though success is their birthright, taking actions that match their vision. Carnegie saw clearly the vast steel empire before it existed. Edison envisioned light where others saw darkness. They acted upon their vision as though it were already real, compelling reality to comply. You too must move in this way. Your first million is already yours, if you claim it now, not by wishful thinking, but by acting with absolute certainty. When you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of one who is already wealthy, the world responds with opportunity, favor, and abundance. Understand that your mind is the architect of your future. Your thoughts today shape your reality tomorrow. To accumulate your first million, you must first conceive it clearly, believe it fervently, and act immediately. Every wealthy individual knows this truth. Abundance is first mental before it becomes physical. Let the power of this truth fill you. Wealth will never find the hesitant. It obeys only the confident. It serves only the decisive. It comes to those who claim it with certainty and purpose. You must become such a person immediately, clear in thought, certain in action, relentless in pursuit. Imagine now the freedom, security, and influence your first million will provide. Act as though it is already yours. Walk as if your future is already secured. Speak with the confidence of achievement. Make decisions with the boldness of fulfillment. Every step taken with this mindset draws your desired success closer. The wealthy act not as hopeful dreamers, but as confident achievers. They understand clearly that confidence and certainty are the seeds of abundance. Your mind and behavior must reflect the person who already has what you seek. Riches flow toward those who embody wealth in thought, speech, and action. Life rewards clarity and action. It punishes vagueness and delay. You must decide now to seize your fortune, not tomorrow or next year. The wealth you desire is available, waiting for you to claim it with immediate and decisive movement. Do not let doubt delay you further. Act now with absolute certainty. Let your every word, action, and choice clearly reflect your fulfilled desires. Act today as if your first million is already secured. Carry yourself with authority. Speak with confidence. Decide with certainty. Behave like one who has already succeeded, and success will inevitably follow you. Take immediate and powerful action now. Your first million depends entirely on your decisions today, your actions now, your behaviors at this very moment. Decide clearly that you will no longer delay. Act now as the wealthy do, with clarity, decisiveness, and relentless purpose. Speak this final affirmation powerfully and with absolute conviction. Today I claim the riches that are my birthright. Let this affirmation resonate in your mind and spirit. Let it guide your thoughts, inspire your actions, and shape your reality. Your first million awaits. Claim it decisively and without hesitation today. Now that you understand the urgency and power of immediate action, it is time to define your definiteness of purpose clearly and begin the path toward your fortune. No man has ever accumulated a fortune without first knowing exactly what he wanted. Wealth is not granted to the vague, the uncertain, or the drifting. It is claimed by the man whose aim is definite, who knows what he desires, why he desires it, and what he is willing to give in return for it. This is the law of all riches. They follow purpose. Thomas Edison did not stumble upon success by accident. He knew precisely what he wished to create. When he set his sights on developing the incandescent lamp, he did not dabble in multiple directions. He pursued one goal with singular focus. His clarity of aim dictated every decision, every experiment, and every day of labor. Edison once said, "I start where the last man left off." He did not begin his work with uncertainty. He began with a clearly defined end. His mind was already convinced of the outcome. This is how all men of wealth think. They begin with the end in mind and act as though they have already reached it. Let me say it plainly. If you have not yet made your first million, it is likely because your aim is not yet definite. You cannot attract wealth if your desires are scattered. You cannot command money if your purpose changes with the wind. Wealth responds only to clarity, and that clarity must be established now. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what do I truly want? Be specific. Do not say, I want to be rich. That is not definite. State the exact sum. I will accumulate $1 million. Say when. Within 3 years. Say how. By rendering this exact service in this exact way. That is definiteness. Write it out. Place your written statement where you will see it every morning and night. Let your mind absorb it. Let your body obey it. Let your environment reflect it. You must live each day as though your aim has already been achieved. This mental discipline is the root of success. Repeat aloud. I clearly define my aim and move directly toward my first million. Say it until you believe it. Say it until your every action agrees with it. Let these words govern your thoughts and shape your decisions. Definite thought leads to definite action. Definite action leads to definite wealth. Do not leave your goal in your imagination. Put it on paper. Speak it aloud. Let it guide your daily routine. Let it influence how you spend your hours, whom you associate with, and what information you consume. When your goal is definite, your entire life moves toward it. Look to Carnegie. When he was but a young man, he declared that he would one day become the wealthiest man in America. He did not merely wish it, he planned it, he spoke it, he acted in harmony with it. And because he was definite, life made him so. Definiteness of purpose gives your work meaning. It gives your days direction. It gives your efforts alignment. Without it, you may work hard and yet build nothing of value. But with it, every hour you labor brings you closer to the exact outcome you have imagined. This principle is not reserved for geniuses. It is not exclusive to the well-connected. Any man, regardless of education or background, can begin with definiteness of purpose. But he must do so deliberately. He must decide once and for all what he truly desires, and then build his life around that aim. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack direction. They jump from one opportunity to another, from one plan to the next, never planting long enough to see a harvest. But the man who is definite in aim is like a tree rooted in fertile soil. His results multiply over time. Your definite purpose must also be backed by a clear plan of action, which we will cover later. But first, you must choose your aim. You must own it. You must commit to it entirely. If you do not know where you are going, how will you recognize the road when you see it? Take time today to define your aim. Choose the exact amount of money. Choose the exact time frame. Choose the exact method by which you will render service to receive it. Then write it. Then speak it. Then live from it. Let no day pass without aligning yourself to this purpose. Declare again. I clearly define my aim and move directly toward my first million. Let this statement not only inspire you, but command you. Let it be your daily instruction. When you are tired, read it. When you are tempted to quit, speak it. When you doubt, repeat it again. You must carry yourself like a man who knows where he is going. You must walk, talk, and act as if your wealth is already yours. This is not pretense. It is preparation. You are preparing the world to receive the man you are becoming. And that man is wealthy because he is definite. Keep in mind, the world follows the man who knows where he is going. People trust decisiveness. They are drawn to clarity. Opportunities arise for the man who moves with purpose. And doors open for the man who knocks with a firm hand and a focused aim. Once more, I remind you, vague desires bring vague results. Specific desires bring specific riches. If your aim is not yet written, it is not yet real. Do not deceive yourself. You cannot hold in your hand what you will not first hold in your mind with clarity and conviction. Let today be the end of wandering. Let today be the end of hesitation. Decide now. Define now. Write it. Speak it. Live it. Say it again. I clearly define my aim and move directly toward my first million. This is the first step to wealth. It is the step most skip, and therefore most never reach the prize. Now that your aim is clear, it is time to ignite the fire beneath it, the fuel that transforms thought into action and aim into reality. That fuel is burning desire. Desire is the starting point of all riches. Not a wish, not a hope. A burning desire, a fire in the heart so hot that it compels a man to act, to speak, to build, to persist. No man has ever attained his first million without first developing an intense and consuming desire for it. Thomas Edison's desire to create the electric lamp was not passive. It was a raging force. He did not merely want to succeed, he had to. His desire moved him to try and try again, despite repeated failure. That desire consumed him, guided him, and ultimately rewarded him. You must develop the same intensity. Without burning desire, your aim will remain a line on paper, an idea without motion. But with burning desire, that aim takes on life. You begin to move with urgency. You begin to think with clarity. You begin to create with energy. Repeat aloud, my burning desire drives me inevitably toward my first million. Let this statement be more than words. Let it be the spark that ignites your spirit. Let it rise in your chest when doubt whispers, when fatigue sets in, when others falter. Burning desire carries you forward. Desire begins with imagination. Picture your goal vividly. See your first million in your mind. Picture it in the bank. Picture the home, the freedom, the impact. Let it become real in your imagination, so real that your heart believes it already exists. The mind cannot distinguish between that which is vividly imagined and that which is physically real. When you live in your vision daily, your body begins to act accordingly. Your speech changes. Your habits change. You begin to walk and talk like a man whose fortune is already made. Burning desire transforms obstacles into stepping stones. The man of weak desire quits at the first sign of difficulty. The man of burning desire adapts, adjusts, and advances. He is not surprised by resistance. He expects it, and he overcomes it with certainty. How do you build burning desire? Begin by feeding it. Write your aim. Speak it aloud. Visualize your success daily. Associate with others who pursue greatness. Eliminate distractions. Refuse conversations that water down your vision. Strengthen the flame daily with action and belief. Do not wait to feel motivated. Motivation comes from movement. Begin now. Act in alignment with your aim. Even small steps taken daily when fueled by desire create momentum. And momentum is the evidence that desire is alive and working in your favor. Let your desire be greater than your excuses, greater than your fatigue, greater than your distractions. Let it speak louder than fear and move faster than doubt. The man who is driven by desire is not easily stopped. He becomes a force of nature. Barnes, who became Edison's partner, had no formal education, no money, no connections. What he had was burning desire. He wanted to be Edison's business associate more than anything in the world. He traveled by freight train. He arrived looking like a tramp, but he believed like a king. His desire was so strong, he did not ask for a job. He declared he would become Edison's partner. Edison saw in his eyes the unmistakable fire of conviction. Barnes was given a chance, and because he burned with desire, he outlasted those with talent and credentials. This is the power of desire. It gives weight to your presence, power to your words, energy to your efforts. It allows you to achieve what others only admire from afar. The man with burning desire will always outdistance the man with idle dreams. Speak again. My burning desire drives me inevitably toward my first million. Say it when you rise. Say it before you sleep. Say it until it becomes your rhythm, your pattern, your law. Say it until your actions match your desire, and your desire becomes your destiny. Desire is not silent. It is not polite. It is loud, determined, and relentless. It does not wait for permission. It does not apologize. It declares, this is what I want and I will have it. When you develop this level of desire, you become magnetic. Wealth moves towards you. Let no day pass without feeding your desire. Read your written aim. Speak your affirmations. Take action even when you feel resistance. The fire must be fed. If you neglect it, it fades. But if you feed it daily, it grows until it consumes doubt, fear, and limitation. Desire must become your identity. You must think of yourself not as someone seeking wealth, but as someone already possessing it. This mindset transforms behavior. And behavior, repeated with intensity, becomes habit. Habit becomes character, and character becomes wealth. Associate only with those who fan your flames. Avoid those who throw water on your goals. Let your environment be a reflection of your desire. Hang your goals on the wall. Speak of your vision often. Let others feel the fire when they're near you. The man who makes his first million does not stumble upon it. He creates it. He builds it. He summons it. And it begins with desire, a force so strong that it leaves no room for doubt. a force so bright it casts no shadows of hesitation. One final time, say it. My burning desire drives me inevitably toward my first million. These are not casual words. These are the declaration of a builder, a leader, a man whose time has come. Let them ring in your soul. Let them move your feet. Let them create your fortune. Now that your purpose is defined and your desire burns bright, you are ready for the next great law, the principle that links thought to result, desire to manifestation. That law is faith. Faith is the eternal force that binds desire to reality. It is the bridge between your inner world and your outer result. Without faith, desire weakens. Without faith, plans collapse. But with faith, true, unwavering faith, a man becomes unstoppable. Faith gives wings to purpose and power to every step forward. Henry Ford did not become a titan of industry by simply building machines. He built belief. While others doubted, he declared. While others hesitated, he produced. Ford said, "Whether you think you can or think you cannot, you are right." That is faith in its purest expression. Ford did not wait to see the road before beginning the journey. He believed the road would form beneath his feet as he walked. He acted in every situation as though success were certain, and the world was compelled to follow the conviction of his example. This is what you must now adopt. Faith must become your daily armor. Not the faith of hope, but the faith of knowing. You must think, speak, and act as though your first million is already in motion, because in truth it is, the moment you believe it is. Repeat after me. My faith is unwavering. I now receive my first million. Say it again with more strength, more certainty. These words are not simply affirmations. They are mental commands. They are the declaration of your belief spoken into the field of cause where all things are shaped. You must build faith through repetition. The mind does not believe merely because of logic. It believes through habit. Speak your aim aloud daily. Affirm your desire. Visualize your results. And most importantly, act in harmony with what you have declared. Let your speech reflect your belief. Do not say, "If I succeed." Say, "When I succeed." Do not say, "I hope to be wealthy." Say, "I am already building my wealth." Speak from the end, as if your dream is fulfilled, and soon it shall be. Let your behavior reflect your belief. If you say you are becoming wealthy, do you rise early? Do you work with intention? Do you associate with men of ambition? If not, your actions betray your words. Align your behavior with your belief. Let your emotions reflect your belief. The man of faith does not fear temporary defeat. He does not break under pressure. He does not panic when results delay. He smiles, for he knows the outcome. He stands steady while others tremble. That is the power of faith. Faith also acts as a magnet. It draws to you the people, resources, and ideas needed to fulfill your vision. When you believe with depth, others feel it. They trust you. They follow you. They support you because your certainty becomes their inspiration. Guard your faith. Doubt will come. It always does. But you must recognize it as the enemy. Replace it immediately with your affirmations, with images of your goal, with action that confirms your belief. The man who defeats doubt quickly becomes a man of extraordinary success. The greatest enemy of wealth is not poverty, it is doubt. Poverty is a condition. Doubt is a choice. Choose belief. Feed it daily. Let your faith become your fire, your compass, your strength. The world cannot resist a man who moves with quiet, consistent conviction. Let me make it plain. No man earns his first million without faith. For the road is uncertain, the work is difficult, and the rewards are not always immediate. But the man of faith continues because he knows, not believes, but knows that he shall have what he demands. Build your faith with visualization. Each morning, close your eyes and see yourself living your desired life. See the wealth, the freedom, the purpose. Feel it in your chest. Walk through it in your mind. The clearer the image, the stronger the faith. Build your faith with gratitude. Say thank you in advance for the wealth that is coming. Gratitude is proof of belief. When you give thanks before you see results, you demonstrate unshakable trust in the law of cause and effect, and that trust brings swift reward. Surround yourself with faithful men. A single doubter in your circle can poison your belief. Seek companions who speak with power, who live with purpose, who affirm your aim and strengthen your spirit. Let your mastermind be a garden of faith, not a field of weeds. Speak your belief aloud. My faith is unwavering. I now receive my first million. Let it become the song of your soul. Let it silence fear, kill hesitation, and fortify your action. Let it be your foundation, and let your life prove its power. Act in every moment as though your success is certain, not arrogant but confident, not boastful but assured, not reckless but bold. The man of faith does not wait to be told. He acts because he already knows the outcome. Faith turns invisible desire into visible result. It is the unseen cause behind every great fortune. You cannot explain it, but you cannot deny it. The men who walk with it bend the world to their will. They create where others collapse. They receive what others only wish for. You must now walk in faith daily. Speak your affirmations. Visualize your success. Act in alignment. Surround yourself with believers. Reject doubt. Cultivate confidence. Declare your wealth as already received, and then behave accordingly. This is the path to your first million. Say it one final time with absolute conviction. My faith is unwavering. I now receive my first million. Let these words enter your spirit, sharpen your thoughts, and ignite your action. You are no longer waiting for wealth. You are walking toward it, and it is walking toward you. With faith now anchored in your spirit, you are ready to give form to your vision through method, structure, and daily execution. The next law is organized planning, the map that carries your belief into practical, measurable results. Organized planning is the tool that shapes faith and desire into tangible results. Without a plan, even the strongest desire remains dormant. But with a clear, definite plan of action, desire becomes movement, and movement becomes wealth. Organized planning is the bridge from belief to bank. Andrew Carnegie, the great steel magnate, was not merely a man of vision. He was a man of precision. He planned everything. His goals were definite, his timelines exact, his methods strategic. He knew what he wanted when he wanted it and how he would get it. Carnegie surrounded himself with brilliant minds. He did not attempt to build his empire alone. He formed a mastermind alliance of men with specialized knowledge, uniting their talents toward a singular goal. Each man had a role, each day had a target, each move was deliberate. This is the method you must now adopt. Your desire and your faith must be translated into clear, detailed, and measurable steps. Your plan must live on paper. It must be reviewed daily. It must guide your actions, direct your hours, and discipline your decisions. Speak now. My organized plan guides my actions directly toward my first million. Say it again. Let this be your declaration of order, of structure, of intention. You are no longer wandering. You are building. And builders use blueprints. Begin by writing your goal at the top of the page. I will accumulate $1 million. Below it, write your time frame. Within 36 months. Below that, state what you will give in return by delivering high-value service in my chosen field. Then begin building the steps. List every action you must take. Break your goal into monthly, weekly, and daily targets. Determine how much you must earn per month. How many clients must be served. What skills must be sharpened. What contacts must be made. Planning is not dreaming, it is calculating. Assign deadlines. Assign responsibilities. If others are involved, communicate clearly. Eliminate guesswork. Let no day begin without clarity. Let no hour pass without action. Your plan must speak to you. remind you, instruct you, and move you. Refine your plan often. The road may curve, but your destination does not change. If one method fails, replace it. If one step proves too slow, improve it. But do not change the goal. Adjust the path, but remain fixated on the summit. Involve your mastermind alliance in your planning. Share your steps. Invite feedback. Let their counsel sharpen your direction. Do not walk this path alone. The wealthiest men always walk in the company of strong minds and loyal allies. Your plan must be visible. Do not tuck it away. Place it where your eyes meet it daily. Keep a copy in your pocket. Let it be your map. When the world distracts you, return to it. When fear arises, return to it. When opportunity knocks, let it be your guide. Most men fail not from lack of desire, but from lack of plan. They begin well, but wander quickly. They take action, but without direction. And so they waste their effort, their time, and their years. Do not join them. Structure your steps. Direct your journey. Your plan must include preparation. What knowledge must be acquired? What resources must be gathered? What people must be contacted? Preparation builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum, and momentum brings wealth. Each day, act in harmony with your plan. Do not wait for ideal conditions. Begin now with what you have. The perfect plan does not exist. The successful plan is the one that is executed. Action builds clarity. Results follow movement. Let your plan include discipline. What will you do when distractions arise? How will you respond when results delay? What rituals will you maintain to stay focused? Planning for difficulty prepares you to overcome it. Say it aloud again. My organized plan guides my actions directly toward my first million. Let it echo in your decisions. Let it shape your schedule. Let it remind you that your wealth is not a wish. It is a system. And that system is your plan. Your plan must be alive. Review it weekly. Measure your progress. Adjust your methods. Celebrate your wins. Learn from your losses. Let your plan evolve as you grow. What once seemed bold will soon become ordinary. And what was once your dream will soon become your new standard. Create an environment that supports your plan. Organize your workspace. Eliminate clutter. Surround yourself with tools, books, and reminders that reinforce your aim. Your surroundings must echo your intention. Your space must be a reflection of your goal. Let your family and trusted companions know your plan. Let them see your discipline. Let them feel your commitment. Their respect will grow. Their support will increase. And your own sense of accountability will deepen. Above all, trust your plan. Let it remove doubt. Let it guide your choices. Let it anchor you in stormy times. When others chase distractions, you will move steadily. When others start over, you will finish. Because your plan is not just a guide, it is your contract. Speak it one final time with conviction. My organized plan guides my actions directly toward my first million. With each step you take in harmony with that plan, your wealth draws nearer. Your future becomes clear, your mind becomes still, and your confidence becomes unshakable. Now that your plan is laid before you, the test begins. For even the best plan is meaningless without consistent execution. You must now develop the will to carry out your plan daily, especially when obstacles arise. That will is called persistence. Persistence is the acid test of desire. It is the quality that distinguishes those who talk of riches from those who possess them. Without persistence, even the best laid plan dissolves under pressure. But with persistence, every failure becomes a stepping stone. Every setback becomes a setup. Every delay becomes only temporary. Thomas Edison, whose experiments to perfect the electric light numbered into the thousands, never considered failure permanent. He told me plainly, I did not fail. I found ways that would not work. That is the language of persistence. And that mindset built an invention that illuminated the world and a fortune that matched it. You must now become a man of endurance, a man who acts daily in faith, regardless of outer circumstances. You must move even when the results seem distant. You must repeat your actions when fatigue whispers, rest. The man who persists when others quit soon finds himself alone on the summit. Say aloud, I persist tirelessly until my first million is achieved. Speak these words in your morning routine. Say them when doubt arises. Let them become your inner rhythm. Let them become your shield against delay, discouragement, and defeat. These are not obstacles. They are merely tests. Persistence begins with one step repeated. One sale, one lesson, one improvement. The million-dollar man is not made by one action, but by thousands of consistent, disciplined, purposeful efforts, each one done as if the goal is already within reach. Create a structure around your persistence. Use your plan. Review it daily. Tick off the steps you complete. Mark your progress. Let the record of your daily activity prove your faith. There is power in seeing how far you've come. The man who keeps moving is never truly far from victory. Understand clearly, every great fortune has required this force. Ford did not stop when production failed. Carnegie did not quit when steel prices collapsed. Rockefeller did not fold under criticism. Each of these men kept moving long after others had fallen away. Their wealth was the reward for outlasting doubt. You must also recognize the enemies of persistence. The greatest of these is discouragement. It disguises itself as logic. It whispers lies such as, "This is taking too long," or "Maybe it isn't meant to be." When you hear such voices, you must answer immediately. I persist. I continue. I finish. Let your mastermind alliance hold you to persistence. Share your victories and your struggles. Let them remind you of your why. Let them speak truth when your vision grows dim. You must never walk alone. The journey to wealth is long, but not impossible when shared. Do not mistake persistence for stubbornness. The man who persists adjusts when needed. If one method fails, he creates another. He does not cling to broken tools, but he never releases the goal. His aim remains the same. Only his tactics evolve. Let your persistence be joyful. Do not drag your feet. March with strength. Every step taken in harmony with your aim is progress, even if results are delayed. The harvest will come if the sowing is done faithfully. Let no day pass without planting seeds. Feed your persistence with purpose. When you forget why you began, you will grow weary. But when your aim is vivid, your reason clear, and your future imagined, energy returns. Speak again your affirmation. Review your vision. Refocus your spirit. Then act again. Establish the habit of persistence. Begin with small promises to yourself. Keep them. Then build bigger promises. Keep those too. Your confidence will grow, and soon you will trust yourself with any task, any aim, any mountain, because you have proven you do not quit. Keep your body in motion. When the mind begins to doubt, move the feet. Action clears thought. Movement restores belief. Never sit too long. Wealth is earned by those who stay in motion. Write, call, sell, build and create. Do something, always something. Speak it once more. I persist tirelessly until my first million is achieved. This is your declaration to the world, to your doubts, to your critics, to your future self. You will not stop. You will not be denied. You will endure, and you will win. When the storm comes, do not panic. Remain calm. Stick to your plan. Lean on your alliance. Read your affirmations. The storm is temporary, but your resolve must be permanent. It is not strength that wins, it is consistency. And persistence is the weapon of the consistent. Let failure teach, not defeat. If something breaks, examine it. Learn from it. Build something stronger. The man who persists does not repeat mistakes. He refines his method. He gains wisdom, and with wisdom comes wealth. Write down your daily victories. Keep a journal. Celebrate small wins. These records will build belief. When you doubt, read them. Remind yourself how far you've come. Let your own history prove your strength. Let your results outshine your fears. Final time now. I persist tirelessly until my first million is achieved. Let this ring in your thoughts. Let it shape your choices. Let it build your future. You are not the man who stops. You are the man who finishes. And the world rewards the finisher. With this spirit of endurance firmly rooted, we must now turn our attention to another great law, the principle of self-control and discipline. For riches cannot remain with the man who cannot govern himself. Self-control and discipline are the invisible guards at the gate of fortune. Without them, all previous effort is lost. A man may have desire, faith, and a plan, but if he cannot govern his time, his emotions, and his appetites, his fortune will slip through his fingers like sand. John D. Rockefeller did not become the wealthiest man of his time through luck or guesswork. He was a man of iron habits. He accounted for every cent, rose with purpose each day, and remained calm while others raged. His mind was ruled not by impulse, but by principle. That is discipline. Charles Schwab, though admired for charm and confidence, was most effective because he maintained composure. He spoke with clarity under pressure, made decisions with poise, and inspired loyalty through his steadiness. He led not by force, but by self-mastery. You must now cultivate the same mastery. Discipline is the art of commanding oneself, of doing what must be done, even when it is unpleasant. The undisciplined man is a slave to his emotions. He acts on whims. He postpones what matters, and he pays the price in failure and regret. Say aloud, I am disciplined in thought and action, securing my first million. Speak this as a declaration of authority. Let it remind you that success is not a matter of chance, but of control. You must command your focus, your schedule, and your behavior. Begin with your time. Rise early. Eliminate idle hours. Set aside blocks for deep work, learning, and action. Let no day pass without forward movement. If time slips, wealth slips. The rich man does not waste hours. He purchases them with purpose, and he spends them wisely. Discipline your spending. Know where each dollar goes. Track every transaction. Avoid impulse purchases. Save deliberately. Invest with knowledge. The man who governs his money multiplies it. The one who spends without thought is always chasing. Discipline creates surplus, and surplus becomes wealth. Control your speech. Speak less, but say more. Do not engage in gossip, idle complaint, or fruitless debate. Let your words be measured, clear, and aligned with your purpose. The man of discipline speaks with power because his words are rare and valuable. Master your emotions. You will face criticism. You will encounter delay. You will experience temptation, but you must remain calm. The man who reacts is weak. The man who chooses is strong. When insulted, remain composed. When angered, breathe. When tempted, remember your goal. Control your appetite. Do not indulge mindlessly. Eat for energy, not for escape. Rest with purpose, not with laziness. Pleasure has its place, but discipline must reign. The body is the tool of the mind. Keep it sharp, strong, and under command. Your habits form your destiny. Review them. Which ones serve your aim? Which ones steal your time, energy, or clarity? Replace the unhelpful with the powerful. Wake early. Read daily. Reflect each night. These are not restrictions. They are the rituals of wealth. Establish a personal code. Decide now how you will think, speak, and act each day. Hold yourself to it. Keep your word. If you promise something to yourself, follow through. Trust in self is built not by dreams, but by discipline. Let your mastermind alliance hold you accountable. Share your habits. Ask for correction. Encourage each other to higher standards. Do not walk with the undisciplined. They will drag you down. Walk with those who live deliberately and build continuously. Design your environment for discipline. Remove clutter. Minimize distractions. Place reminders of your goals where you see them daily. Let your space reinforce your identity. Let it reflect the man you are becoming, not the man you were. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about progress. You will stumble, but each time you return to your path, you strengthen your will. Each time you say no to a lesser desire, you say yes to your future. The man who chooses wisely, consistently, becomes wealthy. Repeat now, I am disciplined in thought and action, securing my first million. Let this guide your choices. Let it shape your hours. Let it protect your aim. You are not a servant to habit. You are the master of your course. Discipline is your steering wheel. Self-control also builds confidence. The man who can command himself earns the trust of others. He speaks with authority because he obeys his own word. He walks with certainty because his steps are not random. They are chosen, they are deliberate, they are aimed. Let your daily routine reflect your desire. If you say you seek wealth, show it in your behavior. The man who acts like a millionaire before he has the million is the man who will have it soon. Not in arrogance, but in order, composure, and self-command. Protect your time as a treasure. Protect your energy as a resource. Protect your mind as a throne. Discipline is not punishment, it is preparation. You are shaping yourself into the man who can carry wealth, command opportunity, and lead others. Final time now. I am disciplined in thought and action, securing my first million. Say it with pride, with certainty, with commitment. These are the words of a builder, a leader, a man who can be trusted with abundance. And now, with discipline forged, the time has come to sharpen your mind and purify your focus. The next principle is accurate thinking and controlled attention, the skill that separates men of reaction from men of riches. Accurate thinking and controlled attention are the twin blades of wealth. One cuts through error, the other holds steady upon the aim. Together, they give the mind power to direct life with precision. The man who thinks accurately and focuses entirely is the man who bends reality to his will. Alexander Graham Bell, before he ever spoke a word into his invention, had first spoken many words into his mind. He studied sound, not casually, but obsessively. He eliminated guesswork. He sought truth, not opinion. And when he imagined the telephone, he did not hope. It was already a certainty in his mind. This is the kind of thinking you must now adopt. If your thoughts are cloudy, your results will be the same. But if your thoughts are clear, logical, and directed with intensity, your outcomes will follow with mathematical precision. Wealth obeys clarity and focus. It avoids confusion. Repeat aloud, my thinking is clear, my attention is unwavering, my first million is certain. These words must become your mental law. Let them guide what you read, what you say, what you believe, and what you choose. Let no vague idea pollute the garden of your definite aim. Begin by separating fact from opinion. Most men act upon what they hear, what they assume, what others believe. But the accurate thinker asks, is this true? Is this proven? Is this in harmony with my aim? If the answer is no, he casts it aside without hesitation. Do not accept ideas simply because they are popular. Truth is not found in the crowd. Most men are broke. Most men doubt. Most men drift. You must train your mind to question everything until what remains is firm, usable, and aligned with your goal. Keep a mental filter. When new information enters, ask, does this help me build my wealth? Does this sharpen my path? Does this clarify my next step? If it clouds your mind or weakens your belief, reject it. The mind must be guarded as one guards a vault. Let your mastermind alliance support this discipline. Surround yourself with clear thinkers, men of reason and results. Do not allow the confused, the emotional, the reckless to speak into your life. Their opinions are fog, their beliefs are drift. Seek only sharp minds. Next, you must master controlled attention. This is the ability to fix your focus upon one thing and keep it there. The world will try to divide your mind. You must resist. The man who chases many rabbits catches none, but the man who pursues one goal without deviation soon captures it. Focus is not natural, it is trained. Begin by scheduling time blocks for concentrated work. Eliminate distractions, turn off noise, close unnecessary books. Keep your definite aim in front of you. Your time must serve your focus, not your whims. Do not scatter your energy across a dozen ventures. Choose one primary path. Let all your actions support that path. Let your thoughts reinforce it. Let your learning enhance it. The man who commits fully reaps richly. The man who dabbles ends with little. Let your focus be visible. Write your goal. Place it on your wall. Carry it in your wallet. Speak it aloud. Let your environment remind you daily. This is what I build. This is what I move toward. This is where I direct my life. When your mind begins to wander, bring it back. Each time you return to your focus, you strengthen your mental muscles. Focus, like faith, grows with repetition. Controlled attention is the practice of greatness. And greatness demands that the mind stay on course. Use affirmations to sharpen your focus. Speak your aim each morning. Visualize it each night. When distraction arises, repeat, I focus only on what builds my first million. This affirmation clears the fog and returns your steps to the path. Let me speak plainly. The man who cannot control his attention cannot control his destiny. His life is governed by impulse, opinion, and noise. But the man who trains his mind to remain upon his aim becomes powerful, creative, and productive beyond measure. This principle also protects your faith. When you focus, doubt fades. When your thinking is accurate, fear weakens. When your attention is fixed, distractions lose their power. The mind focused on success has no time for excuses. Train yourself to think through problems clearly. Write them out. List facts. Remove emotion. Seek principles, not feelings. Base your decisions on logic and evidence, not opinion or gossip. This is how wealth is built, by calm, calculated action born of clear thought. Make study a part of your focus. Read only what strengthens your aim. Consume information with purpose. Seek knowledge that translates into wealth. Do not waste mental energy on trifles. Your mind is a forge. Feed it iron, not straw. Declare again, my thinking is clear. My attention is unwavering. My first million is certain. Let these words remind you who you are. Let them remind you what you build. Let them guide every decision, every investment, every relationship. You are now a man of deliberate thought. You are no longer ruled by scattered attention or borrowed opinions. You are steady, sharp, and purposeful, and the world must now begin to bend to the power of your concentrated will. With your mind disciplined, your thoughts accurate, and your focus unshakable, the final principle will multiply your momentum and bring riches swiftly to your hands. That principle is the law of going the extra mile. Going the extra mile is the principle that multiplies all others. It is the great secret of lasting riches, quiet influence, and unbreakable reputation. It is the law of increase. The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid more than he does. This is not speculation, it is law. W. Clement Stone began with a handful of insurance forms and a burning desire to sell. But what separated him from every other salesman was this. He did not stop at what was expected. He exceeded. He arrived earlier. He studied harder. He served deeper. And in time, the world could not ignore him. The average man does the minimum. He fulfills only his obligation. He seeks to receive before he gives. But the man of wealth gives first, gives more, and gives with a spirit of joy. He does not complain about going beyond. He sees it as the price of greatness. Repeat aloud, I always deliver more than expected. My first million is already mine. Say it again. Let it stir your spirit. This is not just a principle, it is a personality. It must become who you are. You do more, not because you must, but because you may. In every task, ask yourself, how can I exceed expectation? How can I add unexpected value? How can I surprise with quality, effort, and integrity? When this becomes your nature, wealth must come. It cannot stay away from the man who gives more than he is asked. This principle builds reputation. Those who serve you begin to speak your name, clients recommend, partners promote, mentors invest. Why? Because you are no longer common. You are no longer average. You have made yourself rare, and rare things are valuable. It also builds confidence. Each time you give more, you expand your capacity. You discover reserves of strength, focus, and generosity. You prove to yourself that you are greater than the task, and confidence is currency in every market. Apply this law in all areas. If you study, study longer. If you work, work better. If you lead, lead more patiently. If you sell, sell with deeper service. Let every area of your life reflect this law. Your actions must testify this man gives more. Let your mastermind group hold this standard with you. Share examples of extra-mile effort. Praise each other's increase. Celebrate growth, not by what is required, but by what is done beyond it. Build a culture of surplus excellence. Let that culture attract wealth as a magnet. Avoid the trap of resentment. The undisciplined man says, "I'm not being paid enough to do more." But he fails to see that the reward is never immediate. It is inevitable. Life pays you in proportion to what you've already done. If you do more now, you are already raising your future pay. Think like an investor. Each extra effort is a seed. You may not see the fruit this week, but the harvest is certain. Keep planting, keep watering, keep adding value day after day. You will not reap what you hope for, you will reap what you sow. Let your body reflect this principle. Stand with strength. Speak with confidence. Move with energy. Let every fiber of your being testify, "I am the man who does more." The world reads your posture before it hears your words. Let your presence announce your value. Say again, "I always deliver more than expected. My first million is already mine." Let this guide your daily action. Let it frame your choices. Let it correct your laziness. You are not being generous for appearance. You are building a future that others only wish for. Even when you are not seen, give more. Do not wait for applause. Do not wait for praise. The man who gives in secret builds silently, but life never forgets. The reward always comes. Do not ask when. Simply know it will. Let your work become art. Let your service become unforgettable. Let your character shine through effort. Wealth does not hide from men like this. It chases them. It follows them. It multiplies around them because they have become too valuable to ignore. Your first million is not just earned. It is attracted. And nothing attracts more powerfully than surplus effort. When you walk the extra mile, you leave average behind. And what lies beyond average is influence, impact, and income without limit. Repeat this truth often. I always deliver more than expected. My first million is already mine. These are the words of the uncommon, the words of the inevitable, the words of the man whose work speaks louder than his lips. With all 8 principles now woven into your character, definiteness of purpose, burning desire, faith, organized planning, persistence, self-control, accurate thinking, and going the extra mile, you are now ready to receive the wealth you seek. What remains is one thing: action, deliberate, decisive, daily. Now that you have journeyed through the 8 great principles that govern wealth, I say to you with unwavering certainty, there is nothing between you and your first million except decision, discipline, and deliberate action. You began with the challenge. Have you paused to ask why your first million remains out of reach? And now you know the answer, not because the opportunity is absent, but because the mind must be prepared, the plan must be made, and the will must be executed with precision. Let us recall what you now possess. You have learned the power of definiteness of purpose, that riches come only to the man who knows exactly what he wants, when he wants it, and what he will give in return for it. Without aim, there is no accumulation. But with aim, all things align. You have ignited burning desire, a force more powerful than mere hope. You now understand that the first million demands hunger, fire, and emotional intensity. The man who cannot live without it will inevitably have it. You have established faith, not passive belief, but active knowing. You now walk, speak, and behave as if your wealth is already secured. Faith is not what you wait for, it is what you act from. You have built organized planning, the daily structure that brings your goal from the realm of thought into the field of form. No man climbs a mountain by accident. He studies the terrain, prepares the tools, and advances with deliberate steps. You have developed persistence, the refusal to quit, the refusal to retreat, the refusal to be denied. You understand now that the man who outlasts doubt shall inherit the prize. You have trained self-control and discipline, the governor of conduct, the guardian of time, and the ruler of habits. Without mastery of self, no wealth can last. But with it, any level of success can be maintained and expanded. You have cultivated accurate thinking and controlled attention, the rare ability to separate fact from fiction, to think independently, and to fix your mind unwaveringly on your aim. These qualities alone distinguish the few from the many. And finally, you have embodied the principle of going the extra mile, the law that multiplies effort into reward. You no longer ask, "What must I do?" You ask, "What more can I give?" And this spirit alone shall call forth opportunities you cannot yet imagine. Now I say to you, what will you do with what you now know? Will you go back to ordinary habits, average behavior, and vague intentions? Or will you rise today and walk in the full power of these principles, living, speaking, and acting as if your first million is already yours? Your future is not determined by your past. It is determined by your present clarity and present action. You do not need more time. You need more decision. You do not need more motivation. You need more direction. You do not need more approval. You need more belief. Take these principles now and build your fortune. Begin this very hour. Decide what you want. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Move your feet. Sharpen your habits. Focus your mind. Give more than you are paid for. And refuse to quit until the result appears. Let these words be your creed. I act decisively and consistently, claiming and achieving my first million with certainty. Repeat this each morning before the world speaks. Repeat it each night before sleep. Repeat it until the world believes what you believe, that your wealth is not in the future, it is in your hands now. It is in your thoughts, your habits, and your steps. The man who knows where he is going and walks with conviction cannot be stopped. Your first million awaits, not with hesitation, but with motion, not with doubt, but with certainty. Now go, act, and do not stop until your life reflects what your mind already sees.